Breaking news, co-main and potential future rival Michael Zarafa is a no-show here today. A major omission from this build-up to Wednesday's fight night at Sydney's ICC. Let's hand it over to Ben Damon now for the very latest.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fight Week and welcome to the official press conference ahead of a big night of boxing at the ICC in Sydney this Wednesday night that you can see live on Main Event Television, which of course is available via Foxtel and Kayo. Ben Damon is my name. Really looking forward to calling the action on Wednesday night. A stacked card, a lot of exciting fights, and of course it culminates in the first international opponent for the undefeated Nikita Tszyu, who takes on Lulzim Ismaili, who comes from Germany and has joined us here today. We've got plenty of the fighters who are a part of this card up at the front table as well, but as you have just heard, there is someone missing. George Rose, how are you firstly? And what's going on? Where's Michael Zarafa?
I have just been informed that he won't be here, but have been assured that he will be at the weigh-in tomorrow.
No more details from you as to what's transpired? Are you two on talking terms?
No, he'll definitely be at the weigh-in tomorrow, yeah.
Okay, I'll have to continue to probe. Has something gone wrong with regards to Michael Zarafa and his comments perhaps over recent days or anything else?
No, I was just informed just not long ago before coming to air, so, but yeah, as I said, he definitely will be at the weigh-in tomorrow.
Okay, so he's definitely fighting on Wednesday night, because we have been through similar circumstances before and we didn't get him to an event. Is there any issue with regards to him fighting on Wednesday night?
No.
You're confident in that?
Absolutely.
Do you want to say any more about Michael Zarafa, or you want me to move on?
No. Let's keep the ball rolling, eh, brother? Let's go.
Okay. Well, you got two guys either side of you there, Nikita Tszyu and Lulzim Ismaili. A really good-looking main event. What are you expecting from Nikita? The first time we've seen him in a full year.
Yeah, look, 12 months out of the ring, you don't know what you're going to get from Nikita, but we've already seen that his personality is back. We're going to see him back in the ring on Wednesday night, and anyone who hasn't seen Nikita fight, it's absolute fireworks. It's edge-of-the-seat stuff. He's the most entertaining guy in the ring in Australia, and it's not always for great reasons. Sometimes he likes to push boundaries and really test himself out, and other times he just comes out in the first round and blows people away. So you never know what you're going to get, and when you've got a really tough international opponent like this after a 12-month layoff, anything can happen.
What are you expecting from Nikita, though? Because we have seen, as you mentioned, there's some reckless performances, taking a couple of shots to give big ones back, but he says he's been working on a lot of things. Do you think that we see a boxer version of Nikita in this fight, or is it fireworks as per usual?
Look, the boxer version of Nikita is absolutely beautiful to watch. We don't always get that, but the other version that we get is still just as bloody entertaining as the beautiful boxer. Like I said, I'm nervous when he really pushes those boundaries on us at times during fights, but it's all part of the entertainment. I think as a viewer, you're never going to be disappointed watching a Nikita Tszyu fight.
Lulzim is undefeated in 12 fights, a well-credentialed opponent who comes to us from overseas. What a sort of a threat do you think that he poses to Nikita in this fight?
Yeah, look, I watched him move yesterday and I thought he looks fantastic. He's definitely come here to win. I think when you're an undefeated fighter, you walk different, you talk different, you've got a different vibe about you. When you haven't tasted defeat, it's a different vibe that you bring. You know, it's a very tough fight for Nikita, and I really like the look of him. But yeah, as I said, he's coming here to spoil our plans. Our plans are to take Nikita all the way to the top, but he looks fantastic, and he's a guy who could upset the plans that we have.
The co-main event, George, Michael Zarafa against Mikey Dahlman. Mikey is he has 18 wins and 16 knockouts, a big puncher. That's still the co-main event, yeah?
Yeah. Look, I mean, same thing with Mikey. Seeing me, he's got a really good energy about him. He's a very exciting guy. He's very happy to be out here. He was enjoying Bondi Beach yesterday, and I think that he's a guy who could really try to upset the plans there too.
And that fight's happening.
It's happening, brother.
Yeah. Further down the card, we've got Brock Jarvis, who returns. The first time we've seen him since he went down to Keith Thurman. He takes on Sam Beck. we get a good chance to see Sam for the first time on one of these shows, but he is a well-credentialed fighter with 7 fights, 7 wins and 4 stoppages as well. What do you expect from that fight?
Yeah, look, what we've put together with this undercard is there's some really great matchups. If anyone follows Australian boxing, you know that all of these guys can fight. And they're very well-matched fights. So if you're tuning in, make sure you get in early. It's the first time I've seen Sam Beck face-to-face, and he's a big human. He's a very big human. I like Brock Jarvis. I think he's a fantastic fighter, but I think he's really in for a tough matchup on Wednesday night, and that's definitely going to be one to watch. Ahmed Reda stepping up against Bruno Tarimo, another fantastic fight. Anything could happen in that one, absolutely anything. I know Bruno's been very avoided in the past, but Ahmed's also a guy who says, I'll fight anyone, anytime, and he wants to get to the top, so he knows that fighting someone like Bruno gives him that opportunity to move on to bigger things, and it will be a fight that'll be one to watch. Jazzy Parr is an absolute star, and her fight will be a very tough one as well. I think there's some really good matchups as well in the prelims, so tune in early because I really like the fights that we put together on this undercard, and a big shout out to our matchmakers for making that happen. Well done, boys, because this is going to be a really good card.
Yeah, not often that you see a fighter with 6 professional fights against a fighter with 35 professional fights. This was exactly what we see with Reda against Tarimo. That the fight you're most excited about on this card?
Oh, it's up there. It's definitely up there. Look, Ahmed's a beast. He's an absolute beast. And like I said, he's a young, hungry guy who wants to get to the top. Bruno's a guy who's been up at the top. He's experienced some of the very, very tough fights. He's taken on pretty much anyone that was willing to get in with the ring with him in Australia. So this is another one of them opportunities where young bull, old bull, we'll see how they go.
Best place to watch the action, of course, on main event television in front of the heater on Wednesday night. But if you can get to the ICC in Sydney, George, how do they go about getting some tickets for this one?
Yeah, get amongst it, tickettech.com.au, jump down, get your tickets, watch it live. As I said, if you're coming down, come down early because we've got some fantastic fights on this card. Obviously topped by Nikita Tszyu at the top, but this will be a really good one. If not, kick back, you can watch it on Kayo, absolutely anywhere, on your phone, at work, at home, wherever you want to watch it, you can kick back and watch it anywhere. That's the beauty of Kayo. Absolutely love it. So tune in on Wednesday night. You will not be disappointed by this card, I guarantee.
And just finally, Michael Zarafa, what's happened there? Where is he?
He will be at the weigh-in tomorrow, Ben.
Thank you, George. Okay, we'll talk to some of these fighters now as we move through what is a stacked card that you'll see, of course, on Wednesday night on main event television. I'll start with Jazzy Parr, who joins us down at the front table there. Jazzy, welcome to Sydney. I know you had a good time out at Bondi yesterday. How are you feeling about being a part of another big show like this?
Yeah, it's really cool. I absolutely love being a part of No Limit Boxing and coming down to Sydney. This is my 5th time down here, so it's starting to feel like a second home. I love the vibes. I love the energy that the people bring here. It's going to be another great night of fight, so I'm just super stoked to be a part of this and just get back in the ring. I love to bang. I love to fight. This is what we're all here for, so yeah, the countdown is on.
International opponent for you, undefeated as well in 9 professional fights. What have you made of what you've seen of her so far?
Yeah, I think she's a tough fighter, and I really hope that she brings her A game on Wednesday. So, you know, I've trained so hard for this. There's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and it's all going to pay off on Wednesday.
And what happens in your fight, Jazzy? What are you going to do for us on Wednesday night?
I feel like I don't need to tell you guys what I'm going to do. I'm just going to show you on fight night. So my knuckles are super itchy, and I'm just ready to bang.
Okay, thanks, Jazzy Parr. That'll be the opening fight on the main event broadcast after 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time this Wednesday night. This will be bout number 2, and this is the fight that we were just talking about with George Rose, a fighter who's had 6 professional fights against a fighter who's had 35 professional fights, and that's where we'll start with Bruno Tarimo joining us alongside his trainer Ben Sava. Ben's worn his fancy hat for the occasion. Obviously, you guys are pretty excited about this fight. I'll start with you, Bruno. Tell us why you're willing to step up against Ahmed Reda, who's looked so good in his first 6 fights. Even though you've got an edge in experience, you go in a big underdog in this fight.
Firstly, I want to say thank you, Lord, for giving me this another opportunity. I've been out for 2 years for having get step on a big stage like this again. Thank you so much for promotion, No Limit, giving me this another opportunity. Yeah, this is a big opportunity for me again. I respect him as a fighter, he have a good experience from amateur, and now he have a 60 fight professional. He already got experience. So I'm coming for win. He coming for win too. So it's gonna be a good show on Wednesday night.
Bruno, were you surprised that they were willing to fight you, given your experience?
Say again, it's all right?
Are you surprised that Ahmed Reda and his team are willing to fight you, given your experience?
I'm not any surprised, because every fight they wanna take the big opportunity. So every fighter they wanna be world champion. They wanna take big risk. And he saw me. He know Bruno. He be fighting with the good fighters. So he know, and this is good chance for him to step up. He saw this opportunity, and then he took it, and then I'm gonna show him I'm still here, and I'm still fighting to chase of my dream.
Ben Savra, just a question to you. Are you surprised this has come about, and are you surprised that you're such a big, Bruno's such a big underdog in this fight?
Oh yeah, it's blown my mind. I'm amazed that the bookies have got Bruno a 3-1 underdog. For me, I think all the respect deserves to go to Ahmed Reda. It's a massive step up for him. He's got balls of steel to fight Bruno Tarimo. I think a lot of people have forgot who Bruno Tarimo is. He's walked through everybody domestically. His only losses have come to the absolute pinnacle world level, people like Zalfa Barrett, Takai. If Ahmed Reda goes and beats Bruno Tarimo, Australia should get very excited, but it's not going to happen, man. Bruno's the Terminator. He's going to win this fight. It's going to be a very good fight.
I was interested to hear Ahmed say that he's only watched a few clips of Bruno. He hasn't watched a lot of his fights and doesn't know what's coming. Do you think that's a mistake?
Yeah, very much a mistake. Yeah. Bruno's a monster, man. I think, like I said, I think everybody's forgot. You got to remember, Bruno's gone through Nathaniel May, Kai McKenzie at his peak, Paul Fleming. He was winning that fight. Like, that's a mistake, man. That's a mistake. He's in for a shock if he doesn't know what Bruno brings.
I'll go to Ahmed Reda. Is that correct? You've only watched a few clips. You haven't sat down and watched any full fights of what Bruno has done previously?
Yeah, that's correct. First of all, I just want to thank George Rose and No Limit Brothers for putting me on the show. You know, it's a stacked card. Can't wait to put on a good performance for you guys. And, I don't look too deep into my opponents when I'm fighting them. I know Bruno's experienced. I know he's had a lot of fights. I know he's fought a lot of good guys, and, you know, he might have beat them good guys, but he hasn't fought anyone like me, and I'm going to show that come Wednesday night. And Ben, you know, you might think it's a big mistake not looking into him, but you've seen me before. I've been around, you know. We've crossed paths before. You know what I bring to the table, so get your fighter ready. I'm coming to take his head off.
Do you want to respond, Ben?
We took the fight, mate. You're right. I've seen you before, and we took the fight.
Yeah, we got 2 days. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Ahmed, do you want to go and watch some Bruno Tarimo fights tonight, do you think, before you face him on Wednesday?
I watched a minute. I watched maybe max a minute. I was like, man, you know, it's not worth watching. It's not worth watching him. You know, that's it. I've seen his stance. I've seen what he does. You know, I've already trained. I've already done my whole camp. What am I going to benefit from watching him now? Like, we're going to get in. I'm going to see a jab. I'm going to see you throw your punches. I'm going to catch your punches, and I'm going to knock you. It's as simple as that. Like, I don't need to watch nothing.
That would be an enormous statement if you were able to do that. Do you acknowledge that this is a big step up from the opponents and the level that you've been fighting at to fight against someone like Bruno Tarimo?
Yeah, no, 100%. It's a step up, and it's only a step in the way I want to go. You know, this is a step up, and it's a Australian title fight, but it's nothing massive to me. You know, I didn't turn pro and become a boxer to win an Australian title. I'm doing this shit to win world titles, and this is a step up, but it's just a little step. You know what I mean? It might be experienced, it might have a name, but it's just a little step to me. I got much bigger things coming.
What have you got coming? If you beat Bruno Tarimo and stop him, as you've indicated, what do you want to do after this? Billy Polkinghorne was meant to fight you on this show. There's other names, of course.
That's the exciting thing about boxing. You got to wait and see. You know, I can't do all my surprises. You got to wait and see. You know, I'm going to take it step by step, one fight at a time, and just, yeah, like I said before, just knock them all out the way, and yeah, I'm going to the top, and nothing's stopping me.
All right, it's an exciting fight. Your final words, Ahmed, before we move on to the rest of this card on your fight against Bruno Tarimo.
Yeah, tune in. You know, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a really good fight. 10 rounds, you know, 10 rounds of action. You don't want to miss this one. Please know that. Let's go. We're coming to fight. Bruno's coming to fight. I respect him as a fighter. And I'm coming to fight too, you know. He's coming to get the win. I'm coming to get the win. Everybody tune in, you know. Anything can happen. One shot is all it takes.
Okay, thank you to those two fighters as we move on to the next fight on this card between Brock Jarvis, who comes to us with a 22-2 record, and the undefeated Sam Beck. I'll start with you, Sam. Welcome. Must be exciting for you to be a part of a show like this. I'll just get you to sit right up to the microphone as you reply. But yeah, a big occasion and a big opportunity for you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is definitely a big opportunity for me, and I'm just happy to be here on the big stage.
What do you know about Brock Jarvis? Have you watched many of his fights in recent times?
Yeah, I've seen plenty of Brock Jarvis. Yeah, he's a real good fighter. He's fit and strong and comes forward. And yeah, it should be a real good fight.
Obviously, it's a fight that you think that you can win. What gives you that sort of confidence that you beat someone with the record of Brock Jarvis?
Yeah, I think I've been overlooked in this fight. Big underdog coming in, but I really believe in my skills and ability and what I'm going to do in this fight.
A lot of talk about perhaps Brock fighting Nikita if the two of them were to win these fights. Is that a fight that you would like should you get through Brock Jarvis?
At this stage, I'm just looking forward to getting my fight with Brock Jarvis, and then we can think about that afterwards.
Okay, I'll go to Brock. Brock, good to see you. How are you feeling ahead of your return? The first time we've seen you since that Keith Thurman fight. How's the preparation been for a fight with Sam Beck?
Yeah, preparation's been great. You know, just had to sit down and analyse that last fight of mine. You know, had to make a few adjustments moving forward, and I'm ready to perform come August 20.
What did you learn out of that experience, the fight with Keith Thurman, the build-up to it and everything that went around that occasion?
Look, I won't elaborate too much on the adjustments that I need to make, but I gained a lot of experience being in the ring with a fighter of that calibre. And, you know, I'm grateful to be back here and looking forward to August 20.
And what do you make of what you've seen of Sam Beck, and why is he the right opponent for you?
I haven't seen a lot of Sam Beck, actually. You know, I've tried to find as much footage on him as I can. There's not much out there, but from what I've seen, you know, he's a good boxer, and he's a good fight for me right now to really make a statement.
You got any thoughts on Michael Zarafa not being here today and his general behaviour in the lead up to this fight?
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. You know, we're all here promoting the show, and Michael Zarafa decides not to show up. You know, it shows the kind of man that he is. And, you know, he's ran before from fights. He's doing things like this. I find that unprofessional, and that's all I can say.
What happens in your fight, Brock, against Sam Beck this Wednesday night?
I'm going in there for the stoppage.
Okay, thank you to Brock and to Sam as we head up to the top table now to talk to the fighters involved in the main event. Of course, it is Nikita Tszyu and Lulzim Ismaili, a 10-0 fighter and a 12-0 fighter. Before I talk to the fighters, though, I will talk to Glenn Jennings, who joins us up here at the top table, the manager of Nikita Tszyu. This is a big step up in terms of where Nikita is on the global sphere. He's 11 in the world at the moment. He takes on an international opponent for the first time. Glenn, tell us about the narrative of this fight and why it is such an important one for Nikita.
Thanks, Ben. I thought I was coming up here as a interpreter.
You can if you want.
Because a few people this week have not quite understood Nikita, but that's our quirky friend, and that's how we like it. Look, it's easy to forget that Nikita Tszyu, going into his 11th fight, has sat up on this top row every single time at a press conference. And every single time he's delivered. And he's undefeated. And he will remain undefeated on Wednesday night. And we back Nikita all the way. As George said earlier, our plan is to run Nikita all the way to the top. And to do that, you've got to have confidence in your fighters. Now, for most fighters that come through, they get an opportunity to come through on undercards and an opportunity to develop. Nikita come from an 8-year break in boxing straight onto the big stage, the big platform with no limits. That in itself is an amazing outcome. And each time he goes into the ring, you've seen the improvement, and I'm sorry to say this to our German friend, but the improvement with Nikita in the last 12 months is going to well and truly place him on the next level. And we hope to take Nikita to the international level and start fighting him overseas as early as next year, all going well. We don't get too carried away in boxing. As you know, it's a brutal sport. But there's a reason why Nikita Tszyu sits at the top of the table.
What do you want him to do next? Should he be able to get past his opponent, Lulzim Ismaili, in this fight, Glenn?
Oh, look, there's lots of talk. No Limits and myself talk regularly about the pathways forward for the guys. There's one particular fight that keeps on getting mentioned. Probably would have got a bit more of a mention today, but he hasn't arrived. Not too sure about that. I know you've got some questions about that, Ben, that you might want to ask of George. But he's not here. But whether, look, the Tszyu v Zerafa story will continue to build. And I'm sure that rivalry at some stage will be extinguished one way or another. But in terms of where and when, you'll have to wait for that, because in this sport, you're only as good as the fight in front of you. And I'm sure Nikita would love the opportunity to get in the ring with Michael Zerafa. But there's a lot that goes into play to make sure that that's the right decision for the right time.
If you were in George's position, having dealt with a similar situation once before, Glenn, do you think he should have any concerns about Michael Zerafa taking part on Wednesday night? Should we be calling Stevie Spark, do you think?
I'm more concerned that neither of the fighters are here for that fight.
I think Mikey's just over there, actually. He was going to join us. He was going to take your seat, but...
Welcome. Good to see you. Look, I don't know the circumstances why Michael's not here. Michael can answer for that tomorrow. I hope he turns up. I think that's going to be a cracker of a fight. And for anybody that's not been to a sold-out ICC show, you've got no idea what you're missing out on. This card that these guys have put together is a ripper, and I don't think there's a bad fight amongst it. I think it's going to be a real entertaining night, and you're going to see a bit of everything. You're going to see some rip and tear fights. You're going to see some classy boxing fights, but you're going to be very well entertained. And I think Michael Zerafa and Mikey Dahlman from the United States will be a great fight to watch. And I'm sure the outcome of that fight will have some play in the ring afterwards as to what Michael Zerafa wants next, and if he's prepared to put his hand up for Nikita Tszyu.
All right, well, we look forward to that. Thank you, Glenn. I'll now talk to Lulzim Ismaili. As I mentioned, he's 12-0 as a professional and joins us here in Australia. He has a translator who's joined us late here as well. Firstly, welcome to Australia. How's his time been so far since arriving from the other side of the world?
Lulzim po të vesin, si po kalon Australi prej se ki ardh prej spari. Qish po të vjen Australia, vendi, kur ki ardh? Qish doket?
Për pamjen e Australisë.
Sidneja, si doket kur ki ardh?
Valla duket shumë mirë, pastër, mirë, njerëzit e mirë.
He's saying thank you for welcoming me, and he's saying that it's a beautiful city, and he hope he can put on a good show.
What does he know about Nikita Tszyu? I'm sure he's watched some fights and some videos. What sort of a threat is Nikita to him?
Po të ves, a ki këshir video Nikita tu bo ndeshje, qa po mendon?
Për kundërshtari?
Po.
Po është bokser i mirë, por ne kemi bërë detyrat e shtëpisë, do japim maksimumin dhe le të fitojmë më i miri.
He says that he has studied Nikita Tszyu, watched a lot of his fights, and he studied him well, and he's well prepared.
And what makes him confident that he wins this fight?
Qysh të vjen konfidenci, qa po t'jap konfidencë ki më mujt në qitë deshe?
Si?
Konfidenci jot, ku i merë konfidencin, më mujt Nikita Tszyu?
Valla, se kuptoj.
Konfidenci jot, për shembull, ku i merë konfidencin, a je konfidencë se e mund Nikita Tszyu?
Po, synimi është fitoria dhe asgjë tjetër.
He feels that he's very confident and he would put on a good show and possibly win, yes.
S'kena çka humbim ne, s'kena çka humbim, kena ardhur këtu për luftë.
He came for war, and that's what he'll give.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you so much for your assistance, and thank you to Lulzim. We go now to Nikita Tszyu. Nikita, you've been the focus of a lot of attention over the last week or so. A lot of different stories are grabbing mainstream headlines, particularly your diet. What did you have for breakfast today?
Unfortunately, my dairy cow is staying with her father in a different paddock. so I didn't have any of the expectations.
What about your weight? How are you doing? It's been a long time since you've had to get down to this weight. We know you've struggled a couple of times previously. How are you going this far out from a weigh-in?
This last year, I've spent a lot of time reflecting on just everything that I've been doing, and it's made me more in tune with myself. I've figured out a lot of things with my body, how my body wants to function, how it wants to work, and I've got a very good conversation going with myself. So this weight cut has just been a breeze.
And what about your hand? A lot of talk around your left hand that was the problem that kept you out for all this time. How is it so close to a big fight like this?
You know, if it hurts, it hurts. We're in a fight. I don't care. When shit hits the wall, when shit hits the fence, it's going to become a dogfight.
Is that what you're expecting? Your opponent's just said that he is here for war. What style of a fight are we going to see?
From the experiences in my last few fights, I've learned to expect the unexpected, to be taken to dark places. I know what it feels like to be in those dark places. I have a distinct memory of it. So now that I've been there, I know how to handle myself when I'm there. I know the adjustments that I want to make when I'm there. So I'm ready for everything.
You've got a pretty good judge of character. You've had a look at Lulzim and seen his body language and the way that he's conducted himself the last few days. How confident do you think he feels that he can beat you in this fight?
Everyone has to be confident. This is a brutal sport. We step into a ring and we fight with each other. In this sport, we forget about the laws that bind our society. We forget that there's law and order. Two men go into this ring and they fight it out till death. That's the kind of mentality I'm going in with it, and I hope that's the same mentality that he's coming in with it. And we do this for the entertainment of the public. It's a crazy way to make a living, but I've learned to embrace it.
How does it feel for you going into a fight for the first time as a father as well?
I'm willing to do anything for her. My daughter, she means everything to me, and the thought that there's another person trying to take away food from her mouth, that's a huge drive. The dark things I want to do to people at the thought of them taking anything away from my daughter.
So would this be the most motivated you've ever been for a fight then?
You be the judge.
Got to get your thoughts on a potential future rival in Michael Zarafa, who isn't with us here today. Do you know what's gone on there, and what are your thoughts on him not being a part of the press conference today?
I haven't really been told much about it, but I think George over here has a bit of PTSD. I can hear the way he was responding before. He was really not liking it.
I'm confident.
Is that the fight that you would like next? There's talk about that fight. There's also talk about this fight with Brock Jarvis. Would you like to fight one of those guys? Should you be able to succeed on Wednesday night against Lulzim?
We take one step at a time. Don't ever want to look over an opponent. There is dangers with anyone that steps into the ring. So firstly, we have to focus on Lulzim, and then we plan ahead from there.
All right, we'll face off these two fighters very shortly, but your final words, Nikita, to finish the press conference ahead of your return after a year out of the ring against Lulzim Ismaili on Wednesday night on Main Event. Your final words.
I'm glad to be back. It's been a year. It's been a long year, an enjoyable year, but also a frustrating year. time to bring some brutality back.
The Butcher returns this Wednesday night, and now we'll face off these two fighters who do form our main event. On main event this Wednesday night, George Rose, if you could get both Nikita Tszyu and Lulzim Ismaili into position, these are the two fighters that will headline this stacked no-limit boxing card that you can watch live at the ICC in Sydney and, of course, on main event television, available via Foxtel and Kayo. A stacked card, of course, all the action live on main event. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you all for joining us. We'll see you at the weigh-in tomorrow. I'm Ben Damon, and I'll see you at the fights.
Well, the final word is in from all the fighters on Wednesday night as we build up to what is a huge fight night. But of course, the big omission here at Hoops Capital in Sydney is Michael Zerafa not turning up here today to this press conference. His opponent in Mikey Dolman is alongside me. Mikey, I suppose, firstly, your initial reaction to not seeing your opponent, Zerafa, here this morning?
It was strange at first, but I'm not going to send shots at Zerafa. I mean, those are questions that he needs to be answered from him, you know, and I'm just here to control what I can control.
Does it concern you, though, because this isn't the first time that Michael Zerafa has not turned up to a press conference? He's done this before and he's pulled out of a big fight. You've travelled 36 hours to be here in Sydney for this occasion. To potentially not face Zerafa, are you concerned?
No. If that happens to be, then so be it. I mean, God's got a plan, so I'm just going to listen to him.
Does it change your plan, your approach over the next 24 to 48 hours as you build up, or is it all, I suppose, as normal as you try and prepare for what is a huge occasion for you?
Yeah, nothing changes, not even kinda. I got a job to do. My only job right now, to me, my only concern is winning. So, obviously, you never know if a fight's going to happen until you're in the ring, but I'm prepared to be there.
From what you saw of him yesterday, he was obviously here in Sydney. He's travelled from Melbourne. What you saw of him yesterday at the open workout at Bondi, what was your first, I suppose, reaction initial to seeing him in the flesh?
He seemed like a nice guy, and I was relieved because I was expecting the fight to happen before the fight even happened. But it was nice to see him. I mean, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to hate to send shots.
When does Michael Zerafa not become a nice guy? Is it the moment you step into the ring?
That's it. We both got a job to do, and like I said, I'm here to win, and I'm going to do that.
Any final words? Anyone watching at home? Obviously, you didn't get an opportunity then to speak at the press conference. Anyone tuning at home, ready to see you over here in Australia? You've travelled out here from Chicago. What can we expect from Mikey Dolman?
Expect fireworks. Anybody that knows, been following my story, knows I'm prepared, and I trained hard. And hope you guys tune in. I know No Limit's going to put on a hell of an event.
Mikey Dolman, thanks so much and good luck on Wednesday night.
All right, take care.
As we welcome in Ben Damon here, let's have a chat with you, Ben. Obviously, this initial reaction asked Mikey there that if anything changes for him in the preparation to not having Michael Zerafa, and I had to also remind him that this isn't the first time Michael Zerafa hasn't showed up for a press conference.
Yeah, he's the ultimate salesman as well, Michael Zerafa. Who knows what he's up to? I've got a couple of missed calls from him, actually, after hosting that press conference, so I'll be interested to see what he has got to say. I'm sure he'll make it my fault in some way, but yeah, it'll be good to get him there tomorrow, assuming everything is smooth, as George said that it is. Just adds a little bit of excitement, doesn't it, Michael Zerafa, and some of his antics. He really does know how to get everyone talking, that's for sure. So does this man.
So does this man, Nikita Tszyu. Well, welcome here to the broadcast. We saw you yesterday at the open workout. You're here for the press conference this morning. Your thoughts then, obviously, some of the war of words. You're both prepared for war. That was the word that was used throughout that press conference. Your initial reaction?
Well, that is what we're prepared for. This is a brutal sport and expects that things can go wrong and you have to be taken to dark places.
Were you surprised that he did say that, though, that he's prepared for war, to sort of use some of that stronger language that maybe we didn't expect from an international opponent who's been quite quietly spoken to this point?
No, I think it's expected. Anyone who's a fighter, they've got a different kind of mentality to most people. So you personally wouldn't understand it, but the stuff that goes through our heads is quite different.
Can you sort of, I suppose, detail for someone at home who's not familiar with what it is like that goes through your heads? How do you give us an insight? How do we capture that to understand the thoughts that go inside Nikita Tszyu's mind?
Well, we make a living of being locked into a square with another man that wants to beat the living shit out of us. And our job is to beat the living shit out of them. It's a different kind of mindset. We don't train to look good. We don't train to be fast runners or anything like that, doing personal bests. We train to hurt. That's our job, to hurt another person.
You had a very different demeanour up there when I asked you about being a father and your daughter. Will you think about that during the fight, do you think? Will you think about her? Will you think about it in the dressing room beforehand? Is it going to be a present thought for you on Wednesday night?
I wouldn't say it will be a thought that I'll be having. I will be carrying her energy with me. I will have a photo of her with me. I'll say my final goodbyes to it, and then ready to go smash someone.
That's a scary prospect, smashing someone as the butcher returns after 12 months. What does the next 24 to 48 hours look like for you in the build-up to Wednesday at the ICC?
I mean, we've got a little bit more of a weight cut to do, the final stretch. One more training session, keeping it nice and light, not fatiguing the body, making the weight in the morning, and then refueling.
Nikita Tszyu, good luck with all of that you just detailed, and good luck on Wednesday night.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for Nikita Tszyu for his time here this morning. Of course, we are going to welcome now Ben Dame. We're going to introduce Brock Jarvis, who is alongside us. Brock, your initial thoughts just on the press conference there?
Yeah, it was good. First time I see my opponent, so it's good to get a gauge on his physique and see what he's about. So it's good.
What did you make of him having stood in front of him? Because there's not much that you can find in terms of his fights. He's a bit of a mystery to you, but looking at him in the flesh, what did you see?
I mean, he's a tall, rangy guy. I think that's going to be his approach come August 20. And I've been working on certain things to capitalise on that.
Do you think that having gone into fights with a higher calibre of opponent than him, even though you've lost a couple of those fights, do you think that sort of experience gives you an advantage? Just fighting on a big stage like this might be tricky for him.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've been here before. I've fought some great fighters. So, of course, I'm going to take that in and use that to my advantage. He's never been on this level before. So it's all going to be new to him. And, I mean, again, I don't take too much in from that because at the end of the day, we're in there fighting, but the occasion can get to you at times, so we'll see how he pulls up.
Brock, you've got one eye on your opponent on Wednesday night, but I must ask you about the omission of Zerafa here this morning. Not the first time he's missed a press conference. What's your thoughts?
Like I said when I was up there, we're all here promoting the show, doing our job, doing our part, and he's not here, so it just goes to show the kind of individual that he is.
What do you think is going on with his mindset, Michael Zerafa, ahead of this fight? If whatever has transpired this morning, the fact that he's not here, how do you think that he is going ahead of this fight?
I have no idea how he approaches his fights. I mean, again, he's fighting some bloke that I've never heard of in my life, so, it is what it is. Yeah.
Well, Brock Jarvis, thanks so much for your time here on the coverage, and good luck on Wednesday as you build up to what is a massive occasion.
Thank you.
Well, Ben, I do want to just get your thoughts there on Brock Jarvis saying he's not sure what's going through Michael Zerafa's mind. What do you believe, from what you can tell, the missed calls as well? What do you believe is going through Zerafa? We know he's here in Sydney. We saw him yesterday down there at Bondi. But is there a chance? Is there?
No, surely. No, I'm sure Michael Zarafa is fine. I don't know what has transpired. I haven't been a party to all of that, but he is calling me, so no doubt he's going to abuse me for bringing him up so many times during that press conference, which I completely appreciate. But I think he'll be here tomorrow, and I think he'll fight on Wednesday night, and I think he'll win. He's a very good boxer, Michael Zarafa. He's a great salesman. When he leans into the bad guy thing, all of Australia takes notice. It really is a strong selling point for him, but he can seriously fight, and he takes on a man in Mikey Dolman who's a big puncher, but Michael Zarafa has the edge in quality, and if he does get through, and Nikita gets through, and Brock gets through, then it sets up such an exciting end to this year. We've got all of these fighters in and around the same weight division, all with different personalities, different strengths, different weaknesses as well, and it just sets up such an exciting, essentially a tournament-style feel to it as well for the remainder of 2025.
There is so much excitement, so much drama building here. The no-show of Michael Zarafa here today. Will he turn up to the weigh-in tomorrow? Of course, that is all part of the coverage here on Fox Sports and Main Event. It is the weigh-in tomorrow here at Hoops Capital before, of course, Nikita Tszyu, the butcher, is back 12 months in the making at Sydney's ICC on Wednesday, August 20.
Chaos is coming. Wednesday. Nikita! The butcher is back.
And he's going to work again.
It's a year since we last saw Nikita Tszyu's terrifying power.
Big shots. Here he goes, Nikita Tszyu. It stops.
And boy, have we missed him.
But don't